The United States of America $1 coin from 1979 is historically important because it introduced a new type of small-sized dollar coin known as the Susan B. Anthony dollar. Before 1979, most U.S. dollar coins were large and heavy, like the Eisenhower dollar that circulated from 1971 to 1978. In 1979, the U.S. government wanted a smaller, lighter coin that would be easier for everyday use in vending machines, public transportation, and general circulation. The coin honors Susan B. Anthony, a famous American social reformer who fought for women's rights, and especially for women's right to vote in the 19th century. Because of this, the coin is significant not only in currency history, but also in the history of the women's rights movement in the United States. The front side of the 1979 $1 coin is called the obverse. On this side you will see the portrait of Susan B. Anthony facing right. Around the portrait appears the word liberty, which is one of the traditional mottos used on American coins since the early days of the country. The phrase, "In God We Trust," also appears on the obverse. This phrase became an official national motto of the United States in 1956 and has appeared on many U.S. coins and paper notes since the 19th century. Around the edge of the coin are 13 stars. These stars represent the original 13 colonies that formed the United States after the American Revolution in the 18th century. The year 1979 is also written on the front, showing when the coin was minted. The back side of the coin is called the reverse. The design on the reverse actually comes from the earlier Eisenhower dollar coin. It shows an eagle landing on the moon while holding an olive branch, symbolizing peace and achievement. This design was inspired by the historic Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969, when astronauts from the United States became the first humans to land on the moon. Above the eagle you will see the words United States of America and the denomination $1. Also written on the reverse is the Latin phrase E pluribus unum. This Latin motto means out of many one, referring to the union of many states forming one nation. It has been a traditional motto of the United States since the 18th century. The coin was produced by the United States Mint, the government agency responsible for making official coins for the country. In 1979, the coin was minted at 3 different mint facilities: Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, and San Francisco Mint. Coins from Philadelphia generally do not have a mint mark. Coins from Denver have a small D mark, and coins from San Francisco have an S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint also produced special proof coins, which were made mainly for collectors and have a mirror-like finish. The composition of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar coin is copper-nickel clad, meaning the outer layers are made of a mixture of copper and nickel, while the inner core is mostly copper. The coin weighs about 8.1 grams, has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, and a distinctive 11-sided inner border, even though the outer edge is round. This special design helped people identify the coin by touch and distinguish it from a quarter, although many people still confused the two coins because they were similar in size and color. When the coin was released in 1979, the U.S. government hoped it would replace the $1 paper bill in everyday use. However, the public did not widely accept the coin. Many Americans preferred paper money, and because the coin looked similar to the quarter, it caused confusion during transactions. As a result, the coin did not circulate widely, and large numbers remained stored in government vaults. Even though it was not very popular in everyday circulation, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar became important for collectors and historians. There are several varieties of the 1979 coin. One of the most famous is the 1979 P wide rim or near date variety, where the date appears closer to the rim than usual. This version is rarer and more valuable than the normal variety. Proof coins from San Francisco are also popular among collectors because of their high quality and shiny appearance. The coin continued to be produced in 1980 and 1981 for circulation, and later again in 1999 when the United States needed more dollar coins before the introduction of the Sacagawea dollar in 2000. The Sacagawea coin was designed to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar and features the Native American woman Sacagawea, who helped guide the Lewis and Clark expedition across the western United States. Today, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar coin remains a fascinating piece of American history. It represents a major step in recognizing women on U.S. currency, technological achievements like the Apollo 11 mission, and the continuing evolution of the American monetary system. Although it was not successful as a circulating coin at the time, it holds cultural, historical, next top. The United States of America $1 coin from 1999 with a P mint mark is part of the famous Susan B. Anthony dollar series, a small-size U.S. dollar coin created to make dollar coins easier to use in everyday commerce. This coin has historical, political, and cultural importance because it honors Susan B. Anthony, one of the most influential leaders of the women's suffrage movement in the 19th century. She spent much of her life campaigning for equal rights for women, especially the right to vote, which eventually became law in the United States with the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution in 1920. When the U.S. government decided to place her portrait on the dollar coin, it marked the first time in U.S. history that a real woman, rather than a symbolic female figure like Liberty, appeared on a circulating American coin. The coin, therefore, represents both monetary history and the recognition of women's contributions to American society. The 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar was produced by the United States Mint after an unusual break in production. The coin had originally been minted from 1979 to 1981, but because the public did not strongly accept it in everyday use, the mint stopped producing it for circulation. However, during the late 1990s, the U.S. economy grew rapidly and the demand for dollar coins increased for vending machines, transit systems, and postal services. The government had large stockpiles of older coins, but by 1999, those reserves were nearly depleted. To meet demand while preparing a new golden-colored dollar coin, the mint temporarily resumed production of the Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1999. This makes the 1999 coin historically interesting because it was the final year this design was ever minted for circulation before the introduction of the Sacagawea dollar in 2000. The P mint mark on the 1999 coin indicates it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most important coin-producing facilities in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint has been operating since 1792 and has produced billions of coins used throughout the country. On modern coins, the mint mark is a small letter indicating where the coin was struck. In 1999, the Susan B. Anthony dollar was produced in Philadelphia and also in the Denver Mint, which used the letter D. Special proof coins for collectors were produced at the San Francisco Mint, marked with the letter S. Proof coins have a highly polished, mirror-like surface and are usually sold directly to collectors rather than circulated as normal currency. The front side of the coin, called the obverse, features the portrait of Susan B. Anthony. The design was created by Frank Gasparo, who served as the chief engraver of the United States Mint. Anthony's portrait faces right and is surrounded by the word liberty, a fundamental principle in American political philosophy and one of the oldest inscriptions used on U.S. coinage. Around the portrait appear 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies that formed the United States after the American Revolution in the late 18th century. The motto, "In God We Trust," appears near the right side of the portrait. This phrase has been used on many American coins since the Civil War era and became the official national motto of the United States in 1956. Beneath the portrait is the year 1999, indicating when the coin was struck. The back side of the coin, called the reverse, carries a design that was originally created for the earlier Eisenhower dollar. It shows an American eagle landing on the surface of the moon while holding an olive branch, symbolizing peace. Above the eagle are 13 stars arranged in a pattern representing the original colonies. This design was inspired by the historic Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969, when American astronauts became the first humans to land on the moon. The reverse also contains the words United States of America and the denomination $1, clearly stating the coin's value. Another important inscription is the Latin phrase E pluribus unum. This phrase means out of many one, and it refers to the creation of one nation formed from many states and diverse people. The motto has appeared on American coins and the national seal since the late 1700s. Physically, the 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar coin is made of copper-nickel-clad metal, meaning the coin has outer layers made of copper and nickel bonded to a pure copper core. It weighs approximately 8.1 grams and has a diameter of about 26.5 millimeters. The edge of the coin is reeded, meaning it has small vertical grooves around the side. One distinctive feature of this coin is its 11-sided inner border, which was intended to help people identify the coin by touch and distinguish it from the quarter-dollar coin. Despite this effort, many people still confuse the coin with a quarter because the size and color were very similar. This confusion was one of the main reasons. Next top. The United States of America $1 coin dated 2001 with the P mint mark belongs to the famous Sacagawea dollar series, which is part of the modern U.S. dollar coin program created at the end of the 20th century. This coin was introduced after the earlier Susan B. Anthony dollar design did not gain widespread public acceptance in everyday circulation. The government wanted a new dollar coin that would be easier to recognize and more appealing to the public. So the United States Mint designed a coin with a golden color and a new historical figure. The result was the Sacagawea dollar, first released in 2000 and continuing in the early 2000s, including the 2001 P coin. Although the coin's face value is $1, it also carries significant historical, cultural, and symbolic meaning because it honors Sacagawea, a Native American woman from the Shoshone tribe who played an important role in helping guide the explorers of the Lewis and Clark expedition between 1804 and 1806 across the western territories of North America. The P mint mark on the 2001 dollar coin indicates that it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most historic coin-producing facilities in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint was established in 1792 shortly after the creation of the United States government and has produced billions of coins for circulation throughout the country. Modern coins from Philadelphia usually include the small letter P to identify the mint where they were struck. Other Sacagawea dollars were also produced at the Denver Mint, which uses the letter D, while special proof coins intended for collectors were struck at the San Francisco Mint with the letter S. Each mint facility plays an important role in the production of U.S. coinage under the authority of the United States Mint, the government agency responsible for designing, manufacturing, and distributing coins for the nation. The front side of the 2001 P Sacagawea dollar coin is called the obverse. It shows a portrait of Sacagawea carrying her young son Jean-Baptiste on her back. This design symbolizes motherhood, exploration, courage, and the contribution of Native Americans to the history of the United States. The obverse design was created by Glenna Goodacker, a well-known American sculptor who was chosen through a national design competition. Around the portrait appears the word liberty, one of the most important principles in American political thought, and a word that has appeared on U.S. coins for more than 2 centuries. Also inscribed on the obverse is the phrase, "In God We Trust," which became the official national motto of the United States in 1956, but had been used on American coins long before that time. Beneath the portrait appears the year 2001, indicating when the coin was minted. The backside of the coin is known as the reverse. On the 2001 Sacagawea dollar, the reverse shows a soaring bald eagle in flight. The bald eagle is the national bird and a powerful symbol of freedom, strength, and independence in American culture. The design was created by Thomas D. Rogers, an engraver at the United States Mint. Around the eagle appear the inscriptions United States of America and $1, clearly identifying the issuing nation and the denomination of the coin. Another important inscription on the reverse is the Latin phrase E pluribus unum. This phrase means out of many, one, representing the unity of the many states and diverse peoples that together form the United States. The phrase has been used on the Great Seal of the United States and on American coinage since the late 18th century. The Sacagawea dollar was designed with a distinctive golden color to make it easier to distinguish from other coins, especially the quarter. However, the coin is not made of real gold. Instead, it uses a special metal composition consisting of a copper core clad with layers of manganese brass, which includes copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel. This alloy gives the coin its gold-like appearance, while keeping production costs relatively low. The coin weighs approximately 8.1 grams and has a diameter of about 26.5 millimeters, similar to the earlier Susan B. Anthony dollar. The edge of the coin is smooth rather than reeded, which also helps differentiate it from the quarter-dollar coin. The introduction of the Sacagawea dollar was part of a broader effort by the U.S. government to encourage the use of dollar coins instead of $1 paper bills in certain situations. Dollar coins last much longer than paper currency and can reduce long-term production costs. These coins were especially intended for use in vending machines, transit systems, and other automated payment systems. Despite these advantages, many Americans continued to prefer paper money, so the Sacagawea dollar circulated less widely than expected. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar is one of the early issues in this series and was produced in large quantities for Next Top. The United States of America $1 coin from 2009 represents an important transition period in modern American coinage. In 2009, the U.S. Mint continued the use of the well-known Sacagawea dollar design on the front of the coin, but the reverse design became part of a new program called the Native American $1 coin program. This program was created by the U.S. government to recognize the historical contributions of Native Americans to the development and culture of the United States. The law authorizing this program was passed by the United States Congress, and it required that the portrait of Sacagawea remain on the front of the coin, while the reverse design would change every year to honor important Native American achievements. Because of this, the 2009 dollar coin is historically significant as the first coin issued under this new series. The obverse, or front side, of the 2009 dollar coin continues the design that first appeared in 2000. It shows Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman who helped guide the explorers of the Lewis and Clark expedition across the western lands of North America between 1804 and 1806. She is shown carrying her infant son Jean-Baptiste on her back, symbolizing courage, guidance, and motherhood. The design was created by American sculptor Glenna Goodacker, whose work captured the strength and calm determination associated with Sacagawea's role in American exploration history. Around the portrait appears the word liberty, one of the central values in the political philosophy of the United States. The motto, "In God We Trust," is also part of the design and reflects the official national motto adopted in 1956. Although this motto appeared on many American coins long before that year, it became widely used during the 20th century as a symbol of national identity and belief in divine guidance. Unlike earlier dollar coins, the 2009 Native American dollar introduced a special feature. Some inscriptions were moved from the face of the coin to the edge. Along the edge of the coin appear the inscriptions E pluribus unum, the year of minting, and the mint mark. The Latin phrase E pluribus unum translates to out of many, one, symbolizing the unity of many states and diverse peoples forming one nation. This phrase has been used on American coinage and national symbols since the late 18th century and also appears on the Great Seal of the United States. The edge lettering is an interesting technological feature because it requires special minting techniques to stamp words along the narrow edge of the coin after the main design has already been struck. The reverse side of the 2009 dollar coin is the first design of the Native American $1 coin program. It features an image of a Native American woman planting seeds in a field of corn, beans, and squash while three sisters, crops, grow beside her. This design honors Native American agricultural traditions and the agricultural knowledge that helped early European settlers survive in North America. The Three Sisters method of planting corn, beans, and squash together was an advanced farming technique used by many indigenous peoples. In this method, the corn provides a structure for the beans to climb, the beans enrich the soil with nitrogen, and the squash spreads across the ground to retain moisture and reduce weeds. This agricultural knowledge played a major role in the survival of early settlers and the development of farming in North America. The reverse also includes the inscriptions United States of America and $1, indicating the issuing nation and the coin's denomination. The 2009 Native American dollar coins were produced by the United States Mint, which operates several coin-producing facilities. Most circulating coins were minted at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, identified by the mint marks P and D respectively. Special proof coins with mirror-like surfaces were produced for collectors at the San Francisco Mint, which uses the mint mark S. Proof coins are not intended for everyday circulation. Instead, they are made with special polishing and careful striking to produce high-quality examples for coin collectors. Physically, the 2009 dollar coin has a distinctive golden color. This appearance often causes people to think the coin contains gold, but it actually does not. The coin is made from a special metal alloy consisting mainly of copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel. This composition creates the gold-colored surface while maintaining durability and keeping production costs low. The coin weighs about 8.1 grams and has a diameter of approximately 26.5 millimeters. The edge of the coin is smooth rather than reeded, which helps distinguish it from other American coins, such as the quarter dollar. Although the United States government hoped that dollar coins like the Sacagawea and Native American dollars would replace the $1 paper bill, this change never fully happened. Many Americans prefer using paper mon.